everybody.
Hello. Come here.
Hi,
Come
Mary.
up here.
And Fred.
And Fred. Come up here so that everybody can see a baby.
Wait. She wrapped her little footy.
Okay. There you go. There you go.
Hi, Renee.
Hi. Welcome to our bedroom, which is always in the background while we're sitting on the dinette.
Hi, Fred.
Hey, Fred. No men allowed. We will give a little bit of an update as to what's going on with the RV while others tune in to talk about today's topic. So if you haven't been following along on Instagram and Facebook stories, we have started to paint. You may have seen it also in the background from the last live. We are 1,000% done in the bedroom.
Right.
We are about 90% done in the kitchen and dinette. The only thing pending there are a couple of the cabinet doors and drawers that need a third coat on them. That's it.
Right.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say 90% because once all the white is done, we're going to hit the overhead and under counter storage with
Kitchen
an
counter.
accent color, which I shared that accent color in today's stories because we went to Home Depot and bought that paint today.
Yeah.
And we're like 20%, 30% done in the bathroom. So far, the bathroom only has one coat. So we still need to go in there and do a second and a third. And all the painting is the walls, the cabinets, the wardrobe, and even the ceiling because we wanted everything to blend in.
Right.
It is insane how bright it is in here.
Yeah.
And how much more spacious it feels.
Right. Yeah,
Go ahead.
because our last RV, we didn't go white. We went white on the wall, but the cabinets were gray.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like it had more cabinets than this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what it is just that the cabinets were closer together.
Right.
So it wasn't as bright. But here with having everything white, which I think most people do.
Yeah.
I understand why. It changed everything in here.
Yeah, it definitely.
Paint does amazing things.
Paint is like the number one thing to renovate. That definitely makes the biggest impact in terms of the feel. It just feels so much more modern and clean and big and bright. Yeah, we're not even 100% done and it feels so good in here.
Yeah. And when we decide, if we get another RV, when we decide to paint, what are we going to do?
We're not painting. I told her that I kind of felt, and I know she wasn't strong-arming me because she gave me a couple of outs, but by her consistently asking, when are we going to paint? When are we going to paint? I finally gave in. I felt like I was pressured, but I wasn't. I was leaning very closely to not painting this one. Probably also being bummed about being in this one might have been a contributing factor, and it being so much bigger.
And living in it.
And living in it is probably the biggest thing. If we were to get another rig and have this one off to the side, maybe selling it, and we can live in here while renovating that one, I'm fine with that. I don't mind painting it, but living in it, I won't go through this again. It's been crazy.
It's on record now, folks.
No more painting. And yeah, we're not even done. Like I said, we still have the cabinets and then the accent color in here. And then there's going to be staining because Lou is going to change the countertop in the kitchen and in the bathroom as well as the dinette table. And we're going to stain that, which we bought that today too. I forgot to share that one on stories. We found it at Ollie's. Rust-Oleum. What was the color? Yeah, it was copper. It was like a copper wood.
Like penny.
And it was $4.99, whereas you would pay almost $20 for that at Home Depot.
No, like $12.99.
Yeah, you looked it up. It was $12.99
for each one.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, we paid $5 for it.
It was awesome. So we got 2 little quart-sized cans or pints. No, quarts. Quart-sized cans.
Yeah.
So that is the update with the RV. We did already get new curtains, which are up, and we got new bed sheets because this color scheme isn't going to match anymore. that'll be the very last thing we change, as well as getting new cushion covers for the dining room. So the bedding and the cushion covers will probably be the very last thing that we put up.
Yeah.
And then at that point, once everything's done, including the counters and the sink and all that, I will be doing another little tour of the rig. So that vlog will come to show all of the updates and how it looks now. All right, so who do we have here? Before
Renee
I kick in?
and the Adele campers.
Okay.
There's 6 watching, but
Not
only,
everybody's commenting.
Not everyone's commenting, yeah.
I haven't heard you say Melody and Lou.
Melody's
they here?
having a hard time logging in. Mary just filled us in.
Okay,
So
living a
she
dream
will be
now.
missed.
Well, we hope to see you later. If not, I'm sure you'll catch the replay. So the title that we wanted to talk about today is Keto versus Flexitarian.
Yeah.
Well, we'll touch on that. It was meant to be basically her diet versus my diet, and that's not the case anymore. Kind of not the case anymore, but we'll still discuss that.
Right.
So for you, what did flexitarian mean, and what are you
Well,
eating?
what does it mean?
Or what does it mean?
Because I'm basically plant-based. That's basically what I am. And that means that I eat plant-based foods probably 90% of the time.
Okay.
And that means anything that's not red meat or chicken or pork,
Right.
anything like that. I might eat fish once a week. And then on special occasions, or if I really, really want it, then I'll have meat. So I'm not a vegetarian, and I'm not a pescatarian, and I'm not a vegan, because vegans don't eat any animal products.
Right. And she cannot let go of her cheese.
Right, and I love cheese, and I don't really like the vegan cheese.
Right.
It doesn't, maybe I'll get there someday. As of right now, I don't really enjoy it.
She doesn't have eggs.
I don't have eggs, no. And that I don't make any exceptions for. I don't have eggs. And mainly I did it for health reasons. I was on keto and it was going really, really well, but it started raising my cholesterol really, really high. And so I had to make a decision at that point. If I wanted to stay on keto, then I would have had to have taken some sort of cholesterol medicine. So I'm not interested in taking any type of medicine.
Right.
And that didn't make any sense to me. And so changing over from being keto to basically eating a vegetarian diet dropped my cholesterol to normal within 3 months. And I'm a carb eater.
Yeah.
Like, I love carbs.
When she was on keto, she really did miss her bread and her rice and all the starches in the world, mainly bread, but all the starches in the world.
Yeah.
She's all about that.
I love
So
starches.
keto wasn't hard because I was always the one cooking, but she's 1,000% satiated.
For
with
me,
it.
for keto, I have to give up. So I have this thing that I tell myself, or I tell others, and it's, you either give up one thing for everything, or you give everything for one thing, right? It's usually one or the other. And for me, for keto, it was like I was giving up everything for one thing. Whereas now I give up one thing, which is meat.
Yeah.
But I get to have everything else that I love.
Yeah.
You know, and some people think of it as a restrictive diet when it's not, because, you know, I can have pancakes, I can have waffles. There's Impossible meat that Angie makes, like, for instance,
and you can't even tell the difference.
A Spanish meal called picadillo, which is like ground beef, and you can't tell, you literally cannot tell the difference. If I want to have a hamburger, there's Impossible burgers, and I'm an extremely picky eater. Extremely picky eater.
She is.
And when I'm telling you that it tastes like a real hamburger, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, there's no way that I would know the difference between one and the other. If you told me that I would have to give up seafood, then, you know, those would be fighting words. Those are fighting words for me, because that's a whole different. I'm not giving up seafood. I love shrimp and crab and fish and oysters and clams and octopus. I mean, and sushi, forget it, not happening. I will take the damn cholesterol medicine but I will
for
not.
that.
I will not give up fish.
Oh God.
Um,
What input do we have so far on your plant-based and flexitarian?
so Renee says I'm kind of a dirty keto and haven't lost 1 pound since January.
Oh no. Okay, we'll talk on that. We'll talk on
And she
that.
says that I love the Aldi veggie burgers.
Oh, okay.
So veggie
That's
burgers,
something
I
to
don't know if
try.
you've had any of the Impossible meat, because Burger King now has the Impossible Whopper.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you, I don't know the difference between the real Whopper and the Impossible Whopper. They
Yeah.
literally, like, since it's, I think the concept that we have a lot of the time from these places is that, for instance, in Burger King, they pass the meat through that flame broiled thingy. And that's what flavors your meat. You sort of have the flavor of the flames and the,
That char.
exactly. And that's really the flavor that
Yeah, you
your
can tell the
taste
difference.
buds are looking for when you're having a Whopper. I'm telling you because I've had a regular Whopper and I've had an Impossible Whopper.
Right.
And so, like, that flavor is on there. You don't miss it. So it tastes the same.
Yeah.
Adult campers, when I go dirty keto, I lose, but now I'm on a seafood diet. I'm eating everything I see. That's funny. That was funny. Simple Life Seeker, hi, how are you?
Hi, thank you for joining us.
They said, I love Beyond Burgers and me too, and Impossible
Yeah.
Burgers. Love.
I actually like the Beyond Meat more than the Impossible Meat. But I find the Impossible Meat a lot more accessible to find. I don't see the Beyond as much during our travels.
And Renee says that I don't really like burgers in general, and I'm the same way. I'm not a big burger fan.
Right.
I never have been. She says I do it for my diabetes.
Okay. So
That makes sense.
we were on keto for about 2 years, and it was strict keto when we started. I was literally weighing everything. I made sure I was tracking our macros every single day, and our weight just started dropping and dropping and dropping. I had a lot to lose, so it makes sense that I lost 62 pounds. Lou didn't have that much to lose, but yet you still lost 30 something. 28. And like the first, I don't know, like 6-9 months. And then after that, it was just maintenance mode. As we got closer to the end of the 2 years.
Let me interrupt you 1 second.
Yeah.
The amount of weight that Angie lost, she looked like a crackhead.
Oh my God, babe.
Oh, sorry.
she doesn't want me to lose that much again.
It was, it was insane.
Like,
I've never seen her that skinny, and I don't ever want to see her that skinny.
No. If I remember correctly, I had gone from like 190. I'm 5'1". I'm short. I had gone from like 190 to 140, something like that, 138, something like that. But when we met, I was 135, so I was just as thin.
I don't think you were.
You don't remember that?
I don't think you were that skinny.
Well, anyways, so as the time got closer to like that 2-year mark, I wasn't as strict. I wasn't weighing everything. By that point, I kind of knew what it is, the measurements and the serving size.
Right.
And I had the ingredients down packed. So it wasn't strict anymore. And I started leaning towards dirty keto. There's, Renee, since you're doing it for diabetes purposes and you're doing dirty keto, look into a channel, Christy Davis. She's been on keto forever.
Yep.
And she recently got diagnosed with diabetes. But that's because she went through some type of surgery and that
Gastric bypass.
Yeah, and that like has really messed up her system and she ended up getting diabetes. So her channel is mainly focused on her diabetes that she tracks and talks about, as well as the dirty keto items. She does grocery hauls, she does cooking videos. I used to watch Christy a lot. Christy Davis is her channel. Or is it Southern Christy? No, I think it's Christy Davis. I'll send you, you're on Facebook, because I know I've commented. I'll send you her channel through Messenger so you can watch her. We used to watch her a lot, but now that it's gotten so much about diabetes, I kind of don't watch her as much anymore because she talks a lot about that and we're not there.
Right.
And hopefully we won't get there.
Yeah.
But one trip I made to Georgia, I think it was for the birth of my grandson or something, I started cheating and I fell off the wagon.
Thanksgiving.
It was a Thanksgiving trip.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was right after my grandson was born. He was born November 6th. I fell off the wagon and I started eating things that I shouldn't have eaten. And after that, it went from a cheat day to a cheat weekend to a cheat week to just cheating sporadically. And it's been very hard to get back on board ever since. Even now, recently I tried to get back on board and I was probably strict for like a good 2 or 3 weeks. And then temptation hit. And I would say that it was probably easier with both of us doing it.
I'm sure.
Because I'm cooking for both of us and we're both eating the same thing and I'm being health conscious, like for both of us. But with me, a lot of times I get lazy for myself. I don't want to make fancy, delicious, creative meals just for me. I'm like, if it's just me, I'll have a burger patty and broccoli.
It's true. And like I get my food and it looks like something out of a magazine.
Yeah, I mean,
like the colors, the presentation, everything. And then I look at her food and it looks like slop. Like just somebody just threw food on the plate and said, "Here you go."
I guess my cooking is with love. Like when I cook for somebody, I want to go all out. I want them to really enjoy it visually and taste wise. If I'm just cooking for myself, it is what it is. So that probably has also contributed to me not staying strict, where it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go ahead and have some of her sweet potatoes. Or we're out and about, I'm like, oh, I'm craving KFC. I'm going to have the KFC. So I am having a really hard time getting back on board. Even dirty keto. And going on your topic of not losing weight on dirty keto, there's only 2 reasons that I can think about why you're not losing. One is dirty keto comes with a lot of high inflammatory oils. So if you're not eating clean keto, like, yeah, I mean, there's no way of doing clean and dirty at the same time. A lot of the oils and products that are included with dirty keto are high inflammation. For example, canola oil versus avocado oil. That one simple little thing could be triggering you. And you can be retaining that inflammation, which is not allowing you to lose the weight. Some other dirty keto items may have to do with the type of sweetener. You might be triggered by maltodextrin or dextrose or sucralose, all these other dirty sweeteners, which aren't bad for most people. But for some, it's still high in the glycemic index. Maybe not as high as white sugar or honey or, I don't know, coconut sugar or whatever, but it's still up there. And that could be setting you back too. That's retaining your insulin resistance. So you're still resisting it.
Which is the sugar that I'm allergic to. There's one of those that gives me like an instant headache.
Sucralose. Sucralose you get headaches with. And I think sucralose is like what Splenda is. Splenda is sucralose. So it could be those things. Why you're not dropping could be the dirty keto in terms of the oil and the sweeteners. It could also be your portions. We want to think that tracking macros, starting off strict is super important, because then at that point you start getting to know your body in terms of what it is that you're, I guess, losing with and not losing with. What is keeping you not dropping the next day or the day after. I noticed for me, my weight loss isn't from the day before, it's from the day prior to that. Whatever it is that I ate is what would trigger me.
She said, I'm on insulin. My endo said it's really hard to lose on insulin.
Yeah, that's definitely check out Christy Davis, because she might have a lot more tips with that, because I know diabetes plays a big factor with a lot of people. So see what she's doing, and she's definitely dirty keto.
Yeah, she is.
But she does eat a lot of small portions. She eats small portions throughout the day, always, even before she got diabetes. Lou would be like, that's all she's eating? Like, really? I would be starving.
I don't eat a lot in terms of eating throughout the day.
Yeah.
Like I will fast easily 14 to 16 hours without even thinking about it. 18 hours without even thinking about it. Doesn't even phase me.
Yeah, the intermittent fasting is definitely easy for us. That we got down packed.
Yeah, it doesn't even phase me. But I'm a big eater. Once I sit down to eat, I need to feel full. And I probably eat I start off with a small I break my fast with a small meal.
Yeah.
It's usually not a lot. I might have like a bagel and cream cheese,
Or a banana.
or sometimes I just have a banana. Sometimes I'll
Grits.
have grits.
Yeah,
Very
something very
rarely
small.
will I have like I start my day with a lot of food. But for dinner, I eat like a lumberjack for dinner.
We're opposite. I get hungry earlier and I want to eat bigger meals earlier. And then at night, I'm not as hungry. But since I'm still programmed to serving a lot and eating everything on the plate, a lot of times I serve myself just as much as I serve her. And I'm like, I'm so stuffed. And I feel miserable.
So, Mary wants to know what you think of monk fruit.
I actually don't like the flavor of monk fruit. It's good. In terms of sweeteners for keto, stevia is definitely number one. I would place erythritol as number two. That's our preference. There's a sweetener. We actually buy it at Walmart. We found it at Winn-Dixie and Publix. It's called Pure, Pyure, and that's a blend of erythritol and stevia, so it doesn't have so much cooling effect. But after that, I would say the highest or the most popular ones are also monk fruit. And allulose has recently like blown up in the keto world. Everyone loves allulose. We haven't tried it, but I do hear that allulose isn't compatible 1-to-1 like regular sugar. You may want to double it up. Like if you were to put a tablespoon of sugar in something, for allulose, you want to put 2 tablespoons of it.
Yeah, so like Splenda is like 600 times, literally.
Yeah.
600
so
times.
It's a little bit less.
Sweet. Not less, more. 600 times sweeter than sugar.
Yeah, stevia too is a lot sweeter. You want to put in a little bit less. I don't like the flavor of monk fruit. I bought it once, and maybe because I had already fallen in love with Pure, and we're adapted to that flavor and we like it, that I didn't really quite go for the monk fruit. I didn't enjoy it.
I don't think for me, I don't eat a lot of sweets either.
You have a huge sweet tooth, way more than Lou.
But I don't think for me the monk fruit is sweet enough.
Yeah.
And I don't have a sweet tooth, and for me it's not sweet enough.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't like it either. Yeah. We didn't even finish the packet. I think I ended up throwing it away.
And there's an element of probably it would be wrong for me to say keto. There's an element of low carb with the way I'm also eating, because I do eat the keto bread.
Yeah.
Yeah. As often as I can. I love eating croissants and bagels and English muffins.
Who doesn't though, right?
French baguettes. And, I mean, I love bread, but I started to cut down on it and eat it here and there, because just because I can have it doesn't mean I should have it as often as I was having it.
Right.
So I do some things that are low carb.
Trying to lower it.
Yeah, because you know, as a person that does mainly plant-based, you can end up easily as a pre-diabetic or diabetic, because
that's a lot of carbs.
There's a lot of carbs involved and a lot of starch.
And the carbs turn into sugar.
That is all I burn, though.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. That is all I burn.
Yeah. And Lou's a lot more active than I am too. She either walks a campground or she does yoga in here. Just about every day, not every day, but a lot more than I do. I just walk Lexi 3 times a day. I haven't really been exercising like I did when we were stationary, even prior to stationary RV. I was exercising stationary in an apartment. So I didn't go to the gym when we were in the RV. I think right now, instead of keto, so that I don't feel as guilty and bad when I don't stick to it, I'm going to try to lean closer to low carb and smaller portions. That's going to be my goal going forward, is low carb and smaller portions.
Renee wants to know what you think of Cool Whip.
I love Cool Whip. I haven't seen a sugar-free Cool Whip. I saw a sugar-free, the heavy whipping cream, the whipping cream jar. I think Walmart has a brand that's sugar-free. But I just make my own heavy whipping cream with heavy whipping cream and the hand mixer. It's quick and easy to make. I know how much ingredients I have, and I won't sit there in front of the fridge squeezing that stuff in my mouth or in her mouth. Mainly her. If that's in there, forget it.
That's another thing that I do.
Yeah.
In terms of controlling what I eat, I don't buy it.
Yeah.
I just don't buy it.
So
we'll be shopping and Angie will be like, hey, you want to get this? And I'm thinking, yes, I want 2 of those. And then I go, no, take any. Because if it's not here, it can't tempt me, you know?
Right.
So that's another thing that I try to do to control my weight and my eating. If it's not here, I can't eat it.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
That's true. That's true. So we try to stay conscious when grocery shopping. I just can't go to the grocery store when I'm hungry, because if I go hungry, I load up that grocery store. If I eat prior to, I'm good, because I typically have a grocery list on my phone, broken down, pantry, frozen meats, and I stick to that. And I create that list based off of meals that I'm planning on making or things that are missing from the pantry.
So Full-Time Dream, hi, thank you for joining us.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
They said we started E2M, and it has been working very good for us.
Well, I haven't heard of that.
Can you please elaborate? 'Cause
Yeah,
I have no idea
I
what
would love for Lou to read out your
E2M
comments
is.
and educate all of us on what that is. I've never heard of it. No.
Eat 2 meals?
Oh, maybe. That makes sense. So instead of oh mad, too mad.
You're really mad because you can't get to eat the third one?
We did do OMAD a few times a week too when we restrict keto.
Eager to motivate?
Oh, I guess we're gonna have to Google it.
Are you just like pulling her leg? Is that what's going on? It is eager to motivate.
I don't know. I've never heard of it. I've never heard. If that is a real diet and you're not just cracking loose. Lou just got out of YouTube and is going to Google it right now. E2M. Oh, there is something that says E2M diet. I see 8 weeks. I'm not wearing my glasses. I can't see too far.
It says the meal plan is supplement free and consists of whole food options to choose from to create each meal. We have a weekly live cooking class from 2 chefs to help you with meal ideas for the week.
So it sounds like it might be similar to the paleo diet.
Whole food options.
Yeah. It's like the Whole30 or the paleo is what it sounds more or less like it is to me, which are really good too.
Eager to motivate diet. It's an 8-week paid subscription that offers meal plans, exercise routines, and regular support.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I guess if somebody is into all that, I'm not into all that. I'm not into like the whole fitness program. I did Beachbody for a very long time. It was a contributing thing while I was on keto, also probably why I dropped so much weight, 60 something pounds.
You lost more weight when you changed your diet than when you were exercising.
Than when I was exercising, and I was exercising just about every day.
And I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people who disagree, but I stand firmly that your diet contributes more to your health and to losing weight. Yes, you need exercise, absolutely, but you will get more in terms of like you changing your diet, eating better foods, eating less of something, changing it up. Your body will react a lot faster than if you go dieting. And a lot of dietitians will tell you that before you start exercising,
if you go exercise,
especially heavy set people, for them to be motivated to exercise, they really do have to lose some weight in order to actually be able to exercise and get something done.
Right.
So for me, my opinion is, and I'm not a dietitian or a doctor or a health profession, but in my experience, you get more bang for your buck. More bang for your buck. Dieting than exercising. Exercising is extremely important. I'm not saying it isn't.
Yeah. Agreed. So
Mary agrees with me. Mary agrees with me.
With about which one?
What I just said.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
Okay.
I'm good. We can move on now.
Okay. But yeah, that E2M sounds very similar to the Whole30 diet, except for instead of 30 days, 8 weeks, so 60 days.
Yeah.
And combining with exercising.
Any diet that you do for 60 days religiously.
You're hot.
Or any exercise that you do religiously for 60 days. Any calorie reduction.
Oh, for sure. You're going to gain.
You're going to lose 60 days. It's going to be positive.
Of course.
It's going to be positive.
The problem is sustaining it thereafter.
Right.
That's because like with Beachbody, I did it for, I would say probably, I don't know, 6 months. that I did it like consistently.
I would say a lot less than that.
Less than that.
Yeah.
It was more than 30. I mean,
Oh,
it was
no,
more
yeah.
than 3 because I did the Jillian Michaels 30 days. Every day for 30 days.
Right.
And after Jillian Michaels, then I moved on into Beachbody. And I was doing the Shanti step thing. And I think that was like 12 weeks.
But
And then
you
I
did-
started another program.
You did that, and you were stuck with weight, and then you changed your diet, and you started dropping weight immediately. Because we even had that discussion.
Yeah, the food helps a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm not really going to stress the keto mentality too much. Well, I'm going to keep watching all the channels that I love watching. My favorite channels are Low Carb Love, the Keto Twins.
Oh my
She
God.
would drop what she's
Whatever
doing.
I'm doing. They're
To tune
hilarious.
in and watch them.
They're so funny.
The Keto Twins.
They're so funny.
They just created a second channel called Technically Keto also. So Technically Keto is basically talking about different things about keto.
I like their common
And
sense.
Keto Twins is their cooking.
And they're funny because
They are so funny.
they mess up constantly.
Yeah.
And they laugh about it.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah. So who else? So Technically Keto, Keto Twins, Low Carb Love. Catherine is not keto anymore, but I still watch her, so I'm not gonna throw out her name. Christy Davis.
You don't watch Christy anymore either.
Oh, there's this dude called Papa G. Papa G's awesome. I like him a lot too.
Yeah.
He doesn't upload that often. I would probably say once a month or so. But yeah, definitely do your homework. Try to track if you're gonna track. I'm not gonna continue doing that. I'm just gonna stick to low carb.
I had never dieted before we did keto. My entire life. I'd never dieted.
That is
before.
not true. Remember, oh my God. Think back to a long time ago that we did the HCG diet
Oh yeah.
with some little droppers, and it was like 500 calories a day.
Yeah, but that came and went.
Oh my God, but we were miserable. You were miserable.
Yeah, but it came and went. I don't
Excuse
think it
me.
lasted more than like a few weeks or a month.
Probably.
So,
but
like-
it's still considered diet.
But it
you know?
didn't traumatize me
Oh, you were traumatized.
for the period.
After
but
that,
it
she's
didn't,
like, I don't want to diet again.
it didn't traumatize me. It traumatized me for that period, but it didn't traumatize
Yeah.
me. But then when we did keto, she was very strict.
I was.
She was like on top. She was like the
I
food
was.
police. Like, I'm telling you, food police. Like,
I was reading every label.
I couldn't like open the refrigerator. We're getting like across the apartment. What are you doing? What are you eating? It's not time to eat. And I was like,
No.
oh my God.
I was
Are you kidding
tracking
me?
everything.
Like every little thing. Like, I don't do good with portion control. I'm like, I need to eat. I need to get full, and then I'm good. And she was like, no. You can have,
She does intuitive eating, which isn't a
Yeah.
bad thing either.
I do a lot of intuitive eating.
you
Yeah.
know.
And like got really strict, and I finally like bended and blend into it, and I was okay. I gave up power to my food. Whatever I was served was I gonna eat. Whatever portions I was given was what I was gonna eat.
But it was satiating and it was filling, right?
For the most part,
Yeah.
it was, yeah. For me, it was difficult because there was a lot of protein involved, and the transition for me was very difficult.
Yeah. And I go back to the way she eats and likes to eat. She's not big on meat. That's why she's doing so well with just plant-based. She doesn't.
Yeah, it was very
She doesn't
difficult.
miss it. So
And
yeah,
then
it's
I
just-
lost all the weight that I didn't even know I was going to lose. And then I was like, I never want to diet again. I never in the world want the food police to come after me,
Oh God.
And I understood the struggle better for other people that maybe diet all the time or that their weight fluctuates all the time. I had a sense of compassion
Yeah.
that came from that, of how difficult it is
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't have before. I was more judgy before, whereas now I have a better understanding, and I never want to do it again. And so one of the things that I do is that I literally weigh myself every single day, which is not recommended, but I do. I weigh myself every single day.
Right away, I hear her in the bathroom. I'm fat today.
I woke up fat.
I woke up fat
I
today.
woke up fat.
And she says that every time the scale goes up instead of
Yeah.
goes down. I
I'm
always
like, I
hear,
woke up
I
fat
woke up fat today.
So I know if I wake up fat, I have to be restrictive with my eating throughout the day.
Yeah.
You know?
She'll be a little bit stricter
And I'll
with
drink
herself.
more water, and I might fast a little longer.
I'll make a bootable that night so it cleanses our system.
Yeah, like, I'll like I'll manage it, you know, until I start getting. And when I say I wake up fat, is that I give myself a range of 5 pounds. I have a weight that I need to maintain myself at, and I give myself 5 pounds, not 5 pounds plus or minus, literally 5 pounds
To stay in the whole
period
time.
to stay in the whole time, and I've been able to maintain my weight exactly what it was when we first met. Literally, when we first met, this is what I weighed,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh. um, I won't discuss that. But yeah, those are things that I do that trigger me to stay in the lane that I need to stay in.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and weighing myself every day is one of the things that keeps me in my lane. Because when I see that number go up, which even my doctor explained to me that 5 pounds is water weight one way or another. But after 5 pounds, you know, if you let go, for me, if I let go, then it's 6 pounds, and it's 7, then it's 10, and now it becomes a problem. No, now 10 pounds is a lot harder to lose.
Yeah.
Whereas if I keep myself in that 5 pounds back and forth, and I monitor myself, then I'm doing good, you know. And so that's one of the things that I do. And like I said, I'm trying to eat low carb, as many low carb things as I can.
Right.
I'm trying to eat fruits, which I'm not a big fruit eater, but I try to eat fruits.
So I just had a plum right before the live.
Yeah, I just try really, really hard because I never want to do that again. That traumatized me so badly that I never want to put myself through that again.
But to me, I see you happier having plant-based / pescatarian type of.
Pescatarian.
Because you include seafood. In your meals.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, like I
it's
said,
not even every week.
like I said, it's that whole concept. It's like, for me, you give up one thing for everything, or you give up everything for one thing. And so for me, for keto, I was giving up everything for this one thing, which was the diet, and, you know, bringing my numbers lower, you know, and getting healthier, which is always my goal. My goal is always just to be healthy, and that means different things for different people.
Right.
For me, it means my blood test is perfect. That means I'm healthy. That's how I equate it. And so it was a matter of being very as healthy as I can be, and I was giving up everything for this, and it worked. It worked. It absolutely worked.
Yeah.
But then my cholesterol started shooting up, so now it wasn't working anymore, and I had to do something different. And I was afraid of changing. I'm not gonna lie. I was afraid of changing from keto to being plant-based, only because so many carbs, so many starches. Like, am I gonna blow up like a balloon? You know, am I just gonna start gaining weight? So I've been very cautious. And then I think one of the things is also when some people, when they eat plant-based, I've noticed, because I have friends that eat plant-based, give themselves the right to eat a lot of junk food. You know, like potato chips, that's plant-based. They're potatoes. You know,
macaroni and cheese.
Like a lot of processed foods.
Yeah.
I stay away from processed foods. I try to eat everything that's made at home, as clean as I can possibly eat. So I eat beans, and I eat rice, and I eat vegetables,
and the grains,
and I eat a lot of like those things. I have a salad every single night. You know, I eat brown rice instead of white. We eat quinoa and
couscous,
and we eat whole grain pasta, and so I eat a lot of things that are not processed.
Right.
And I think that helps to keeping my weight in check, because I actually did not gain weight going from keto to being plant-based.
Whereas for me, it was completely different. And this, like, Lou and I are complete proof that all of our bodies are just so different in terms of what it likes to be put into it or not. Because I was thriving on keto. Not only did I lose weight, but my labs were perfect. My cholesterol didn't skyrocket like hers did. My labs were perfect.
They were.
And then when she went plant-based, and I decided I'm going to jump on board with her and do this with her, because it's always good to have, you know, somebody doing it with you for support. A few months into it, when I did my labs again to see how I was doing, my triglycerides were through the roof. They had just skyrocketed. So my body wasn't processing and appreciating all those carbs as much. So that's when I knew, like, okay, no, I can't do vegetarian, vegan, plant-based, this type of diet with her because my body just
But
wasn't doing it.
your body can adapt.
I'm sure it can adapt. My doctor ended up telling me your body does like keto more, and that's what you need to go back to. And like I said, I tried, but at this point, it's just been hard to get back onto it. So I think I'm gonna still have more or less whatever I'm cooking for her in a smaller portion and add a meat to it. So for me, it'll be just a little bit closer to low carb. And I'm not sure I want to track it because I'm going to realize it's probably not as low carb as I would like for it to be.
And having said that, you've been having food with me for like a week.
Yeah.
And you've been enjoying it, right?
I have been enjoying it. I haven't been weighing myself, so I don't know how it's affecting me. We both had a
Buddha bowl
last night. Yeah. And that's in the stories. It was really
you liked
delicious.
It, right?
Of course.
Yeah. It's amazing. If you guys don't know what a Buddha bowl.
Yeah.
I'm not going to explain it.
It's basically, you know, veggies. Like, for example, last night ours was brown rice, and I topped the brown rice with cilantro and roasted garlic, and then I served that with roasted sweet potato, roasted carrots, crispy chickpeas, which I roasted also, so crispy chickpeas, and then fresh, not cooked, sliced avocado and sliced cucumber. That's it. So all veggies, and then the grain, which is the rice.
Right.
But typically, her normal Buddha bowl is like rice, kale, sweet potato, and the chickpeas. All 4 of those, and she's really happy with it. Last night I just did a little bit differently. What are you looking up?
So the chickpea, because a lot of people worry about protein.
Okay.
Chickpeas, one
cup?
No.
Tablespoon.
1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of chickpeas is 2.4 grams of protein.
Yeah, chickpeas is really high. I would either use chickpeas, broccoli, edamame. Those are
very high in protein,
really high protein items. So she's not missing out on that protein by doing plant-based. If I include those 3 things, I don't know if black beans are, but every so often I'll do the beans too for her.
Yeah.
Black beans or red beans.
And then chickpeas and the glycemic index is chickpeas, as reported, it's between 47 and 59, which isn't horrible. So
isn't horrible.
It's not. Yeah. Anything under 50 is pretty
good in the glycemic index.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I stock up. I load up on chickpeas. You can get a can at Walmart of chickpeas.
It's also more affordable, right?
Yeah.
My diet is more affordable.
It is. Her diet is just so inexpensive. Produce is expensive, but it's just a matter of shopping around. So a lot of the things I would go to Aldi's for to get like really good deals. Hence, I was about to say the chickpeas. I think the can at Walmart is like 88 cents. 88 cents. But if I go to Aldi's, certain things I'll get it at Aldi's, it's 68 cents. So I like load up on chickpeas for her, and we'll make a soup or stew out of it. Do a curry, chickpea, and then the most common thing I do is just throw them inside the oven or air fryer and crisp them up.
Oh my God, they're so delicious like that.
It's crispy. Yeah. A lot of people do crispy chickpeas as popcorn substitutions too. So yeah, that's basically.
So that's it. It's 8:43.
Ooh, we went way over. But at least we gave you guys an update as to what's going on with the RV renovations, and then talked about what keto and flexitarian is versus like what we're doing now. Because when I picked this topic, that's what we were doing then. But
well, I'm still doing the same thing.
Yeah, you are kind of still doing flexitarian. You're doing plant-based.
Right.
Not flexitarian.
Well, I mean, it sort of falls in that. My diet is mainly like 90% plant-based, but that doesn't make me necessarily plant-based because I do throw in, if I want to have
shrimp here, salmon.
Well, that would make me a pescatarian, but in terms of red meat, I do throw in, whatever, not whatever,
like a ribeye. No,
like once
not
a month.
A really high quality, like a special occasion. She might be like, "Hey, babe, let's do a date night. How about I cook for you?" And she'll make us ribeyes.
So that was, I think,
we had a ribeye a couple days ago.
No, but before then it was Valentine's Day.
Right. The last time we had a ribeye. Right.
Valentine's Day.
It was probably the last day you had red meat then too.
Right.
Until just a couple of days ago, we had a ribeye again. And
So
she doesn't really eat pork.
we're in
Last time we had
April.
pork was December. Was the last time you had
December.
pork.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chicken, you're not a huge
I
fan
don't
of.
like chicken.
I mean, she would have chicken wings every so often.
Yeah.
So I would say probably a couple of weeks ago we had some chicken wings. Was it a couple weeks ago? While we were still in Zephyr Hills.
We had chicken wings?
We had chicken wings.
I didn't have chicken wings.
Not at Zephyr Hills? Probably the park before that.
No,
I forgot where we were
wings.
before that.
No.
Okay. So maybe like a month or two.
Yeah.
But chicken wings. But other than chicken wings,
it would
not
be
really
safe
chicken.
to say that I probably have meat, and that includes all the meat categories. Once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have some ossobuco, like huge fillets in the fridge that we bought months and months and months ago while we were staying in Wildwood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got them at an Amish market, and I've just been saving them for a special day for me to cook for us. And we haven't had it. Mm-hmm. We decided on the whim, like, oh, okay, how about we have this now? And it's like, okay, I need to defrost it, so that's not a good idea. Let's have something else. But I've had them in there forever, those ossobucos.
Yeah, but that's why I chose the word flexitarian, and it does it because I'm flexible.
It's a little flexible.
You know, with what I eat. I can't call myself vegetarian. I can't call myself a pescatarian because I do occasionally indulge and have meat. So it would be safe to say that I'm 90% plant-based. Mm-hmm. And that plant-based is more forgiving than vegetarian or vegan or pescatarian. It's understood that you do include, what is that diet called? The Tuscany diet or something?
Mediterranean.
Diet. They have very little meat with a lot of vegetables.
Yeah.
So plant-based is probably the best
and more
place.
leaning towards seafood, but yeah, they do regular meat too.
To explain the way I eat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anyways, it is 8:46. I miss baked potatoes. I love baked potatoes.
I was gonna say, catch me up with some of the comments. You haven't told me anything.
Inspirational Nomad has joined us.
Hi, just when we're tuning out.
She said, they said RV looks great. Good job on the renovations.
Thank you.
Love the white cabinets.
Yes.
Love the results. Hate doing it.
There is gonna be a vlog of us showing the process, and I'll try to keep it as simple as possible because obviously nobody wants to sit and watch somebody painting a whole RV. But I have been doing it in real time on Instagram and Facebook stories. So hopefully you guys been tuning in and watching it.
So Renee said, how about alcohol? And when it comes to alcohol, we're not big on alcohol.
So yeah, a couple of things. Drink. So in your case, trying to do dirty keto, alcohol, you can find things that are low carb. So for example, the Michelob Ultralight, that's like 2 carbs. And I think recently there's a lot more that have jumped on board, but that's the one that we were drinking when we were strict keto. We were doing Michelob Ultralight. And red wine, not sweet red wine, just regular red wine, I think you can have like 4 ounces or so.
Right.
But while you can have these, you have to keep in mind that alcohol stops you from burning your ketones. So it puts you at a pause. And now instead of burning your fat, it's burning off the alcohol that you've consumed. So it doesn't kick you out of ketosis. It just puts your ketosis in a pause stage to burn off that alcohol. So that can take about a day. So as long as you don't drink on a consistent basis so that you're constantly on pause, you should be fine. It shouldn't kick you out. We would have a beer basically here and there. We don't even keep alcohol in the rig. No. We rarely drink. We, when traveling in a new city, we like to check out the local breweries. And during that stay, so in a 2 or 3 week stay, we might go to the brewery once and have beer during that occasion. Mm-hmm. And then if there's a special occasion going on, whether it's Super Bowl Sunday, right, or, you know, a date night that we might have some wine. Yeah. Every so often she'll be like, okay, let's have a couple of shots. And she'll buy like the small bottle of Fireball. Yeah. So that literally. Not like
the really tiny ones, but like there's one that's like that. I don't even know how many ounces.
Yeah.
It's like this big.
And we would probably, it'll give us like 2 shots each.
And it'll last like 2 weeks.
Yeah. It'll sit there forever.
It'll linger around the
We're
RV.
not big with alcohol. I do
No.
like.
We're big on coffee, though.
We are big on coffee.
Yeah.
Whether it's black or
yeah.
Her always, she has it black all the time.
Yeah.
I don't mind it black, but I prefer it with sweetener and heavy whipping cream. It's just so much better.
It's not coffee
or
anymore.
the skinny syrup.
When you add all that stuff, it's not coffee anymore. I am the coffee police.
She is a coffee police.
Yeah.
She's the one that got me into black. Actually, no. When we went strict keto, I started adapting my taste buds into black coffee.
Full-Time Dream says that the thing that they hate about keto is a keto breath.
Really? You know, I've heard about that. Dr. Berg used to talk about keto breath, and we never had it.
No.
We never experienced it when we were on strict keto for 2 years.
Thank God.
But I do hear that it's like a metallic smelling thing. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. Thank God I didn't
since
find
we
out.
didn't really know anybody that was on keto, it was just us.
Right.
I can't say that I smelled it on anybody else, but I didn't smell it on her breath or her on mine. I heard about it after the fact.
Mm-mm.
We had already been on keto for a few months, and then Dr. Berg started talking about keto breath, and we're like, is that a thing? I did hear about keto flu, so since I was doing a lot of research prior, she's going to jump down. That's fine. I moved the ottoman over here. At the time I was watching Thomas DeLauner before we started keto, and eventually I stopped because he's just way too scientific. I learned a lot from him at the time and prepared for the keto flu. I had bought like all kinds of supplements, mainly magnesium, and I forgot what's the other thing I had bought a lot of.
No clue.
There were like 3 different things that I bought a lot of to make sure that we didn't get keto flu, and we didn't. We never got it either.
No.
So no keto breath and no keto flu for us.
Right. Again, it's 8:51.
Somebody's going to throw a question out to
We're going to sign out. We're usually here half an hour. I'm so happy that you guys were into the topic.
Yeah.
And that you shared your experiences with us. But it's
Stay
time.
tuned. Yeah, next Tuesday we'll be here again, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I have to schedule those YouTube lives. We need to take some thumbnail pictures for those YouTube lives because we're out. But thank you for tuning in. And for those that are catching the replay, thank you for watching. If you're new to our channel, hit that subscribe button. Our channel is mainly focused on us living in an RV, traveling, doing campground tours, neighborhood drives, day in the lives, cooking vlogs, RV maintenance, RV repairs.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
We'll see you next Tuesday. Time for me to crawl out of this bed to go press that stop button.
It's her turn to do that.
I don't want to drop off the forks.
That would have been funny.